That's right. Talking about Iran, what's going on with the war with Iran, the United States, the Israelis, man. Iran is making it known that they want revenge. They want revenge for, America and the Israelis bombing up their country, knocking off all their leaders. But are they willing to pay the price for that revenge? Because it's getting, close to that them elections. And I don't know if they're gonna wait that long, man. The United States looking like, man, that they about to take the gloves off on Iran. It's good. It's looking like, that they've been kind of holding off because they probably figured that, going to war was, probably not something that the country wanted to do before these elections. But as it gets closer and closer to these elections and they feeling secure about, that they gonna win these elections, man, it's looking like, man, they about to do something ugly to Iran. That they've been bombing them, but they talking about they about to take it to the big cities now. They talking about because they haven't really been bombing near Tehran, which is their capital. But they saying that they about to start taking it up near that damn Tehran. And that they about to start taking it near those big cities, the capital city. They about to send them bombers over there again, and they about to bomb, that facility over there. They about to bomb it again, and so yeah, it's looking like, man, that they gonna take the gloves all the way off in a minute. What else is they gonna do? What else is they gonna do? Cause really, is beyond the point of no return at this time. It's beyond the point of no return for both the nations. You done did too much for motherfuckers to feel comfortable about any deal. Iran don't want to make no damn deal with the United States. And ain't nobody in their right mind gonna want to make a deal with Iran. Knowing you done killed all their leaders, knowing no matter what they say, no matter what they write on a piece of paper, that they gonna want revenge, regardless. So it's really all that shit is fake. All that negotiations and shit, that's fake. That's fake as hell. I mean, some shit you ain't gonna live by. You might as well fight it out until it's a real victor. And I know that's, a lot of people, but what you gonna do? You gonna sit and wait and act like they already saying they want revenge, which means that they could attack the homeland of America. They could attack anywhere. They could attack where the base is. And when they mean revenge, they talking about a major attack. They talking about major attacks with an S. And so many people they don't give a goddamn about you. They didn't drop too many bombs over there to think them people gonna want to make a deal with them. And now it's escalating, because they talking about and I'm gonna do that tomorrow, where the Saudi Arabia has signed a nuclear deal with the United States. So they're about to get nuclear power over there, which means that, but they saying is they not supposed to be enriching the uranium. Anytime you get nuclear plants, you making the material that could be used for a bomb. You know what I'm saying? All you need is the other shit that really refines it, but you making the material. Yeah. Oh, it's all good. Yeah, you making the material. So and that's what's critical that people don't know. And so that's why they on Iran head, because the Russians, you can't trust them. Once you set up nuclear plants, you ain't, it don't take that much for you to make a nuclear bomb. Real talk. That's almost like a slick way of saying, oh, well, because every time you build a nuclear plant, like the Russians will build it, but you got to sign the deal. It won't be no enriching, where you enrich the waste material to the level where it could be used as a bomb. But you literally have the capacity to make the bomb. So United States can sign a deal with Saudi Arabia. So I mean that's just escalation. That's just escalation, and to give them another step up. Somebody, all these nations gonna have goddamn nuclear material. All these goddamn nations got nuclear. For what? You can't drop the shit. I don't understand why people be trying to get these goddamn bombs and you can't drop that shit. Because if you do, man, and some people will drop it, but damn, do you know the destruction that shit do? And then, I mean, it literally gonna change the world when you drop that shit. The world ain't gonna be the same. It ain't gonna be the same when somebody, it wasn't the same back then, but it's been some years since Japan, that shit was devastating. And the bombs they got today make that shit that they dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, that shit like a firecracker. You know what I'm saying? That shit like a goddamn fire, them like firecrackers compared to the shit that they got today. Black power, you know. But, this shit is just like Rome. It ain't no different than when the Romans, Alexander fought the Persians. It ain't no different. It's the same war. It's literally the same war. America ain't nothing but Rome. Literally, it's Rome. People, use it as a figure of speech, but America is actually the grand son of Rome because Britain was controlled by Rome. Yeah, 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 yeah. So again, yeah, America come out of Rome, literally. That's why when you go and you look at the Capitol building and you go in there and even what's that? Is that the House of Representatives? I believe it is the House of Representatives, where they got them 5 C's. The Roman symbol of power. It's like it's like a bundle of reeds, and it have like a hatchet coming out of it. You know what I'm saying? And they got that shit. So I mean, this is wrong. But at the end of the day, what it boils down to is that America and Iran is far beyond the point of no return. And yeah, they got them pillars every. You can go to the Lincoln Memorial, and when you go to the Lincoln Memorial, he's sitting in that chair, and you can see the 5 C's right there in the front of the chair. You go into the Rotunda, I believe that's at I think it might be the Capitol building. And you see George Washington. And then they be having them dressed up in what they call them, togas. They got that one statue with George Washington dressed up in the toga, like he damn a Caesar and shit. So yeah, them motherfuckers they still idolize Rome. You know what I'm saying? And the Iranians think they Persians and, whatever, but we know that the original Persians was black. But the Iranians say they want revenge. But let me tell y'all something, man. I'm going to tell you. They is about to take the gloves off on Iran. And they know that. They know that. They about to, yeah, they about to escalate. And when they do, it's gonna cause that whole area to erupt. It's gonna be a world war when they do. It's gonna be a world war. The Pakistanians is with Saudi Arabia. People don't know that. Yeah, yeah, that's the Pakistani with nuclear bombs. They with Saudi Arabia. You know, so it's a hell of a situation. But stay tuned, family. Is Iran willing to pay the price? Is Iran willing to pay the price of that revenge? I don't think so. But we'll see. I'll see y'all in a minute, family. Click that link down in the video description, Patreon. I got all my Too Raw for YouTube over there. You understand the shit that they cannot handle here? You feel what I'm saying? Get over there. Get over there and get it, family. I'll see y'all in a minute. Black Pop.